Coming to you from that once-forgotten artery that pulses through the center of the continental United States and into the heart of the Ozarks, Grace Matthews. Looking in from the northern border, our Canadian friend, along with his countrymen feeling the effects of U.S. political issues, Connor Murphy.
Welcome to Dueling Dialogues, episode 142. I'm Connor Murphy, here with Grace Matthews and the Hammer from Springfield, Missouri. Hi, guys. How you doing?
Great. How are you?
Hey, what's happening up north?
Oh, well, not a lot. A lot of dark and cold. We've had quite the storm system move in, and it's hitting us every second day. So a lot of us have been without power for some going on over a week now. So it's pretty devastating. We've got hit pretty hard.
Well, and because of that, we've kind of taken an unintended vacation.
Yeah, you can't really record anything without power, right? So
that's correct.
Yeah, right at Christmas too. So
yeah.
It kind of made this Christmas a little different, but hey, it's okay. You know,
that's okay. We still got naughty people out there.
Yeah, and we got a lot of them to talk about today.
Yeah, there's a lot of naughty people in the world.
Well, how was your holidays?
Oh, nice.
Good.
Nice. Looking forward to the new year.
Yes, absolutely. Time to say goodbye to 2018, but we're going to find out who was naughty first, right?
Absolutely.
All right.
Yes. And the first on our list is really the last. We have 25. And so we're going to work our ways forward to the naughtiest of the naughty.
Okay.
First on our list is Jerome Powell.
Oh, okay.
Now that's the Fed chairman that Trump put in. And he, made it through the nomination process, which, as we well know, after Judge Kavanaugh can be a pretty difficult process.
Right.
But he's already upset the president.
Okay.
He raised the rates. He raised the interest rates too quickly. And really, the president's correct. He's messing up the economy. And the stock market is reacting to this, among other things. But this is the chief complaint from the investors. When you go too quickly from 0% interest, which is what we kept all through the Obama years.
Yes.
And you start raising that rate, people are in a shock.
Right.
The Hammer knows that it really hurts big ticket item sales.
Yes, and the big thing is people get used to, it's hard enough to get used to change.
Right.
And so as the economy is trudging along at a great rate, when you up the rate, it just puts it to a stop. Well, okay, and then if you keep that rate for a period of time, a longer period of time, then people are used to that rate. But you can't be changing every 3 or 4 months like he's doing, because it makes people so uneasy, the big-time investors. It just changes the whole dramatics.
You get a sort of interest rate PTSD.
Right. We're seeing the same thing in Canada. The only difference is we had a shit economy to begin with.
Right. Which the United States is very lucky right now. Our economy is better than the world's.
Yeah.
But the world's is also starting to affect us.
Yeah, it has to.
Yeah, particularly the downfall in China. But that's how Jerome Powell made number 25.
All right.
Number 24. And we tried to focus on people that had an effect, not just people that did stupid things. People that had an effect on the masses. Remember Dr. Brenda Snipes from Florida?
Right.
And the vote counts?
Yes.
In Broward County?
Yeah, which they can't seem to count past 8, I think.
Yeah.
What a mess. I mean, votes ended up in the airport rental car.
Yeah.
Have you heard the old saying, 1 and 1 is 3? That's her.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or I don't like what's coming out, so let's go make up some new ballots.
Yeah, there's new ballots. You're right.
Let's just, I'm not real happy the way this turned out. Let's change it.
Yeah. Wow.
And it's also not her first offense.
I know. That's the shocking part. She got a second chance. Really?
Yeah, or maybe third.
Yeah,
I think she's a 3-time loser.
Yeah. But they're very tolerant in Florida.
Yes, they are.
I guess.
Way too tolerant.
Either that or they all have dementia and they forget.
Yeah, that could be true.
That could be true, considering the age of the constituents.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Sorry, people from Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, they won't remember tomorrow.
Yeah. Don't have to worry about it.
Okay.
Oh, and Claire McCaskill is number 23.
Yeah, she continues to make an ass out of herself, doesn't she?
Well, she does. And why didn't she say some of this stuff before the election?
Exactly.
And now she's all ticked off at the people that she was praising right before the election.
Yeah.
Poor Claire was trying to say anything to get elected. And she relied on her old comrades in arms, and they sold her down the river, if you ask me.
Oh, they did, and she knows it, and now she's mad.
Yeah, and at one time I think she was winning. Wasn't she ahead in the polls or something?
Yes, sir.
But then also, too, President Trump came here 3 times to the state, and then they spent a bunch of money. When Claire was at the first of the election, she was out spending, Holly, and she was ahead. But then I guess they kind of smelled, the Republicans smelled blood in the water, and they came in here big time. And I'm telling you, they saturated the market with ads. And with Trump, he came to Springfield. He went to Cape Girardeau and Columbia. Went to Columbia also. He would, but of course he hit Kansas City and St. Louis earlier. But this is right at the end.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, he pushed about getting the vote out. And the turnout was huge in Missouri.
Josh Hawley could not have beat her had she not voted. She came out against Kavanaugh very early. And then the idea that the Democratic Party is so against the white male killed her. And she said so last week. That's a little too late. She should have said it before, because President Trump made him strong, but just as a candidate, he was not that strong.
Right. Yeah, I do believe and agree with Hammer. I think Trump really affected that vote. Yes,
he did. I wish somebody would affect Bill de Blasio.
Did you hear
also known as Big Bird.
Yeah. Did you hear his new one?
No.
Oh, yeah. This is my all-time favorite. He decided to put needle dumpsters, the ones like the doctor's office.
Yeah.
So you can dispose of your needles. So, hey, it's okay to shoot up on the streets as long as you put your dirty needle up in the waste can. If that's not the most absurd thing I've ever heard.
They didn't use them.
Yeah,
they were still laying everywhere.
No, so they dump them right below it.
If you've ever seen somebody shoot, at least on TV, they get that high. They don't give a damn where their needle goes.
Yeah, exactly.
But he also wants $10 million to jumpstart the pot industry in New York. I'm okay if they were to make it legal, but does the government need to jumpstart it? I think it'll do it itself.
Yeah, I don't think they need $10 million for anything. Just legalize it and let it go.
Yeah, especially in New York.
They just
I don't get it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all about the taxes to them. The governments have become our biggest drug dealers in the world.
Absolutely.
Well, you know how they are. Anything that can make a huge profit and make them look good, they're for it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And some of the provinces have picked certain people only that will be their suppliers.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
You know where their donations are coming from, right?
Oh,
exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Yes, most politicians like to get money and collect taxes. And then there's Trudeau. He likes to give it away.
Yeah, for sure. Not only does he give it away to random talk show hosts over Twitter, he gave, I forget the guy's name, 50 million or something.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so that's not the least, damaging thing he's done. He's signed with the UN, so the UN is going to take over migration to Canada. And that was kind of the last straw. With Paris doing the uprising with the Yellow Vests, a lot of Yellow Vest groups have popped up here in Canada, and we protest every weekend. There's also been quite a few truck convoys with oil field equipment and trucks and all of the workers convoy. There was one convoy was 4,000 vehicles.
Wow.
Yeah.
4,000?
4,000.
That might be a Guinness Book kind of thing.
It possibly could be.
Yeah,
definitely.
That's huge.
So I think the story is they're planning, all these Yellow Vest groups are planning a convoy to Ottawa in February. So we'll see if that happens. But people are fed up. The carbon tax, selling us out to the UN. People have had enough. People have definitely had enough. So yeah, naughty Justin Trudeau.
Yeah, and he was number 21.
Yeah.
Number 20 is one of our very favorites, Jeff Flake.
Yeah.
Often called by some of his colleagues Jeff Snowflake.
Yeah.
He's really a Democrat in disguise. Not so much in disguise, actually, lately.
Yeah, he's the one guy that whatever the Republican Party's for, even though he's a Republican supposedly, he's against.
Everything.
Yeah, he's probably worth 10 to 12 mil, right?
We figure if we could look at that bank account, there'd be 10 to 12 mil there because he has certainly helped out the Dems. And we know the people that help out the Democrats somehow always end up with 10 to 12 mil in their bank account.
Yes. Can you say deep state?
Yeah, and I'm sure he'll be on the Clinton speaking tour with them.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't decide to run again as a Democrat.
Yeah.
He's the best Democrat the Democrats have.
He might as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely agree with that.
Yeah.
Loser.
Naughty boy. Now we have a naughty girl.
Oh.
Megyn Kelly.
Okay.
You remember her Black Santa, black face ordeal, and you gotta wonder about it. I mean, I'm not a fan of hers, but what she said wasn't that bad. However, I mean, it was basically truth. Back in the 70s and 80s, people did put on black faces to go trick-or-treating. We know that. Okay? Right or wrong, it happened. But was she very smart? She might have been naughty.
Oh, she's definitely not smart.
Can you imagine? She's possibly going to come out of this with $69 million walking money.
Yeah.
And not have to work.
Yeah.
So that, you got to wonder, did the naughty girl do this on purpose?
How can I get me some of that money? Who can I sue?
I think she saw the writing on the wall that they were going to dump her. with that was some sort of reason. This way, if they did it because of something, I bet she's got something in her contract that she gets paid no matter what.
I think she does.
Oh, yeah.
Why not?
This way she can ride off into the sunset and say, well, they took advantage of me. I see, I go to these networks and they're just so mean to me.
Yeah.
I hear, yeah, Megan.
Definitely
they could be that mean to me.
Yeah.
I tell you that.
Yeah, 69 million mean.
Yeah. I'd do it for 30 million.
Isn't that an odd number though? 69.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that is an odd number.
Like who had that written in?
Megan.
Let's put a random number. 69.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Yeah. Next, number 18 is Alexa, which is truthfully one of the Hammer and I's favorite people.
No.
That's not really a person. Our favorite robot, Alexa.
Yeah.
She's probably going to answer from
Yeah. Don't say that too. Don't say that too loud.
But she records everything you say.
Yeah. So does Google Home, apparently.
Got some people busted.
Yeah.
So she's very naughty, and originally they didn't tell anybody that.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's the naughty part.
Yeah.
Is that people didn't know it. I mean, as long as, and it's certainly been handy in solving a couple of murders.
Yeah, for sure. So is the phone.
Yeah, you're right.
Leaves tracks everywhere. You got your phone with you, it's tracking you.
Absolutely. For sure.
It's really making it hard on these guys to, cheat on their wives, or the wives cheat on their husbands, or saying you were one place and you were another. What's happened to the world where you can't lie anymore?
I don't know.
The old days before we had.
I don't know.
Hey, honey, I was. Yeah.
I tend to. I have to.
Bar? No, honey, I wasn't there.
I have to disagree with you. Trudeau lies all the time. So.
Yeah. Well, we need to know his secret, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, number 17 is Angela Merkel.
Yeah, she's a good one for this list.
Oh, bless her heart. She's done.
Yeah, well, good. And we hope Trudeau follows her, because he's been sort of following the Merkels and the Marcones around. And
you cannot choose the immigrants over your own constituents, your own country.
Yeah.
And they may scream and shout at Trump about the nationalist, but their globalist attitude has got them sunk.
Yep. Yeah, it's only a matter
Merkel
of time.
is out. She doesn't even have, I don't know, what do they call her party to back her? She doesn't have a party backing her right now.
They just had a non-confidence vote, and she just barely passed by the skin of her teeth. So
exactly.
Comes to the next election, she's probably not going to run, or the party's going to say, yeah, she's basically done. She's just up there as a puppet now.
And that's a shame too, because she got blitzed by all these do-gooders saying, oh, just let all these people in, you'll be loved by the world. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's why they loved her, because they were all going to Germany and not going to any of their countries.
Yeah, exactly.
They're getting all the ones that are raping the women and not working and
they even talked them into not serving pork at schools. Now, they never did that for the Jews.
Right, exactly.
5 minutes after the Muslims get there, they're not serving pork to people in schools. Do you know how much pork they eat in Germany?
Yeah.
And that's huge. All they eat is sausage.
Yeah, no kidding.
Can you imagine no brats?
No
brats
in Germany?
Beer? Yeah,
exactly.
No brats, no potato salad, no beer. Are you kidding me?
It's a wonder that they haven't had an uprising against her before now, just over the brats and the sausage. The brats.
Yeah, people have finally had enough, I think. So, we're going to see a lot more of this rioting and the yellow vest thing in the future.
Exactly. And it doesn't matter what language, what country.
Exactly.
The people are fed up.
Fed up.
And we're tired of the talking heads telling us that we feel a certain way that we don't feel.
Yep.
If these leaders don't start remembering how they got there, it wasn't the figureheads, it was the people casting their votes for them. And I think things are going to start changing because they have seen, as it did here in the States, you can have all the big power people in the world behind you, like the Democrats do. You can have Hollywood, because they're on TV all the time, they're speaking all the time. But you got Joe and Charlie out in Bodark that make sure they vote for who they want, and the people that are doing what they say they're going to do when they are elected. That, I tell you what, now I think finally maybe that has happened in the States to where we are getting the people into the government that at least will try to do and make things right and keep their promises.
Yeah.
Well, we got a way to go, but we are at the beginning, and that's what we're trying to do. Let's talk about a double naughty. That goes to China.
Yeah, they have been a bit naughty, that's for sure.
Their economy is dragging, and dragging's probably a nice way to put it, yet they still have not agreed to most of the tariffs.
Well, we're scrapping with them right now again.
Are you?
Over the Huawei executive that was...
oh, that's right.
Yeah, so there's a lot of negotiations behind the scenes going on. Like, they just released some girl there that was in jail for drug trafficking. So I know there's negotiations going on, and something's going to happen shortly with that.
Well, what about the Yahweh girl? Is she still in jail, or did they let her out
she's still she's still in jail, but you guys want her in the States, and China doesn't want her extradited to the States. They want her sent home.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know what's going to happen there yet. We'll have to keep our eye on that one.
It will be interesting. I couldn't even guess how that will go.
Yeah, no idea.
So, and one thing about it, Canadians will surprise sometimes.
Well, too, I think, Trump and China are in the, the old deal, who's going to blink first.
Yeah.
And
the art of the deal.
The art of the deal, I tell you what, Trump's got ice water in his veins. He'll wait till the cows come home. He will. And China, I think, is beginning to hurt. I really do. I think we're going to see here.
Their economy has very much
see them bending some.
Right.
Absolutely. Okay, number 15, Abby Huntsman. Talk about somebody that probably ruined her career. Back in August, she leaves Fox, very comfy position on the Fox weekend show, Fox and Friends.
Right.
And she goes to The View, believing that's a step up. Now, the problem with Abby is she's not a bitch.
Yeah,
okay?
That doesn't fit on that show.
Why in the world? You got to wonder, did she ever think that she could go to that show? Did she watch it? I mean, everybody on there, which is fine with me, is a big B.
Right.
And their audience loves it. Well, she goes there. She ticks off the Fox audience. They'll never watch her again because nothing to them is worse than The View.
Right.
So she gets on there and goes for a couple of months, and now we realize that the people from The View hate her, and they're sending her hate mail. And then they've hired her a coach.
Yeah.
Because now she's nothing. It's very sad to me because you're talking about she's probably 32. She made a career move that may toast her.
I didn't know the Democrats had coaches.
Yeah.
Oh, they got lots of coaches.
They need them, man.
Everything they say is planned. Yeah.
They need the coaches. Otherwise, they're
Yeah.
They're going to get Hillary to coach her.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll make a big B out of her.
Yeah, no doubt.
Okay, number 14, Emmanuel Macron from France.
Yeah, he's not doing too good over there lately.
Yeah, well, and we pretty much touched on that. Him and his buddy Angela Merkel.
Yeah.
You know, they misjudged.
Well, they were going to change the world, and they did. But wrong.
Well,
they did it wrongly.
And the cherry on top of the whipped cream for Macron was this tax.
Carbon tax, yeah.
The carbon tax.
Yeah, we've got a provincial carbon tax and a federal one here in British Columbia.
And people said, that's enough. That's where the yellow vest guys come.
Well, we're already paying 42% of our income to taxes. So, hey, why not add another 7 here, another 10 here? Why not?
You know, Trudeau needs some money to spend.
Well, he's giving it
The
away.
way he's giving it away, you guys, 42% might not be enough.
Yeah, they announced in the next 3 years 1 million migrants. Who's going to pay for that? Taxpayers, not Trudeau.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, number 13. And, 13 is a very specific number.
Yeah.
Okay, that naughty person is Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman.
Yeah. Yeah, he probably should have been number 1, or he could have been.
He could have been. The fact that we still don't know exactly because, he runs all the rhetoric that comes out of that state.
Well,
and anybody that says anything gets killed and dies,
There was a big cabinet shuffle the other day in Saudi Arabia, so I haven't really heard, the specifics of it, but I know there was a big cabinet shuffle, and it had to do with the murder. Khashoggi murder.
You know what? It reminds me of the old crime families.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
The Don never did anything wrong.
Yeah.
Of course, nothing was ever done without his knowing about it and his giving his consent.
Right.
Exactly.
And that's the way this went down. And, it's one of those things because you can't ever get the right story about whether this guy deserved. I mean, I don't know if he deserved to get killed, but they wanted to make a point with this guy. Don't know why, because like I said, you just can't get the right answers coming out of there to all the real facts. But
I think he knew a lot. He knew a lot.
Yeah,
and I know he wrote some unflattering things, but I think he had the ability to write some worse things, and they knew that. I don't think he ever got around to writing what he could have.
Yeah, I think you're correct there. He knew
could have
more.
been.
Yeah.
Okay, number 12 is Stephen B. Hayes and the Weekly Standard, which is no more. About 2 weeks ago, they closed up shop after a couple of decades. The Weekly Standard was a conservative publication started by Bill Kristol. Stephen Hayes was the editor-in-chief. They took a stand to be never Trumpers very early on.
Well, that doesn't work.
When they took that stand, they were solid.
Wow.
In less than 2 years of his candidacy, they're closed.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on one of the Fox shows, and he always goes against whatever the other Republican person says. Yeah. Yes, no matter what it is.
But they haven't had him on in a long time.
Yeah, I know.
Since
still, that's where it started his downfall.
Yeah.
Right.
He made a big deal of it on TV, and probably the Weekly Standard taking that side wouldn't have been as blatant had he not said on TV, this is what we're going to do. You know, basically what he was saying is, we're not even going to wait for the news to come out. We're going to go against him. Well, that doesn't go over well with readers because you want some semblance of truth.
Political suicide's what it was.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, okay, number 11, one of your favorites, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. What a gaffe.
Oh, she provides so much entertainment, though.
Oh, she does. And
she could have her own reality TV show.
Yeah, reality.
I don't know, but
that's kind of ironic.
Reality is a stretch there, but she can have the show.
Yeah, she doesn't live in her own reality. I don't know.
Well, she could have her own show of the outtakes.
It might be her reality.
Yeah.
We just don't know if it's anyone else's reality.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, she's a gaffer. She doesn't know what she's talking about. And
we do know she's not an American history major.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But she was a political science major.
And yeah, that's right. She paid her fees and got her B's.
Well, nevertheless, she is a congresswoman who will be voting starting the 3rd of January.
Yeah. Oh, she's. Oh, they decided to inaugurate her?
Well, someone
I'm Canadian. I'm Canadian,
Yeah.
and I even know that. Seriously. Wow.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Number 10 is Fox News.
Okay.
You know, they have let everybody bluff them. You know, somebody says, "Oh, we're gonna boycott, you know, one of your ads or your, you know, the companies that run commercials on your shows," and they have reacted way too many times. That's number 1. Number 2, they will not talk about Soros and the money Soros provides to the Democratic Party.
Huh. That's
Number
interesting.
3, they should not have backed Jim Acosta and CNN in the lawsuit that they filed against the White House and President Trump.
Yeah.
Because Acosta was the ass.
Yeah, that didn't make any sense.
Absolutely.
You know, we were talking about this the other night ourselves, and there has been a big change at Fox since Roger Ailes has gone. They do not. Do you think that would they have stood behind CNN if Roger Ailes was there?
No,
not on your,
you know,
not over your dead body.
And that doesn't mean we were endorsing Roger Ailes' behavior.
No,
but that is the new Fox News.
it's just that people were afraid to mess with Fox News back then. I guess that's the point I'm trying to make, is they were so strong in their values there of the Republican conservative values that they didn't try to kick sand in their face like they've been doing now. CNN comes at them every day.
Yeah.
A lot of times they fold, and that's what makes me mad. I don't care that CNN goes after them as much as you can't fold.
Well, they're also guilty at firing people because of advertisers, which...
Exactly, and they have the money. You know, it's a cable TV, meaning you pay for that cable service. The advertisers are the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
You know, you really should be able to pay the bills from those subscriptions.
And I think there's other advertisers that the shows haven't gone off the air.
No, they've had.
You think they don't have other advertisers that will take that spot?
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
they have had.
With all those viewers that are watching, you know, like Tucker Carlson, and you know, and Hannity, you think there's not enough people? Where can you get more bang for your buck?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you really, we all know that an advertiser is not endorsing the content of any show. All they want is to reach those viewers with their product.
Not according to the snowflakes of the world.
Exactly. That leads us to number 9, the snowflake of the world, Theresa May. She's in a mess very similar to Angela Merkel.
Yeah, she definitely is.
But the bad thing is, she went into this position saying she would help the UK with Brexit. She sort of backtracked on her word. And she's hanging on by a thread.
Yeah, very, very small, thin thread.
Absolutely, because people are very serious about these movements.
Yep, and it's only going to get worse for them.
Absolutely.
It's coming down to pitchforks.
See, it's going back to the same old thing, not listening to the people that got you there.
Yep.
Exactly. Number 8, one of our favorites, James Comey and Company.
Yeah.
Talk about a fibber. He doesn't remember anything.
Yeah, he remembers he's got 10 to 12 million in the bank.
Yeah,
and we know he has that. Yeah.
I don't recall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Isn't that a great answer?
I can't answer that.
Yeah.
He might be able to go in Guinness Book for the most ways to avoid answering a question.
Yeah, well, he'd have to take that away from Bill Clinton.
That's true. That's very true. Right, James Comey and and Company. At one time you got to remember all these guys were on the same page. And McCabe, Lisa Page, Stroke, they were all buds. They're kind of turning on each other now.
Yeah, the fingers will be pointing at who said what, who did what, who knew what when. Mueller could have really, if he would have gone and tried to figure all this out, if he's not involved with it, he could have made himself the Pulitzer Peace Prize winner by figuring out who did what, when, and where.
In that group, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That group. And that leads us to number 7 is none other than Bob Mueller.
Yeah.
What's he got?
I don't know.
Do I remember correctly that when Kenneth Starr was investigating the Clintons and Bill Clinton, he came out with a report periodically?
Yeah.
Mueller, nothing.
No.
Just writing checks.
One thing Mueller does have is a big budget.
Yeah.
Unlimited.
Yeah.
Now, how did that happen? That's what I want to know. Who okays that? Is it the budget committee?
Or is it Rosenstein?
Yeah.
We don't know.
They just come up with that money like it's nothing. And why does it cost so much?
Yeah. What exactly?
You would think they were paying these people they're talking to.
They're already,
I don't know how they can spend that much money.
And
they're already paying them.
Yeah. How easy communication is now, and Skype, and he would like to see his expense account when he turns it in on the little piece of paper.
Yeah. Makes you scratch your head. I mean, they're getting paid anyways. What is costing hundreds of millions of dollars on top of it?
It's just hard to know.
Like, who's actually getting paid?
Yeah, and the fact that they do not have to make it transparent is actually just unbelievable.
It is.
Yeah, it's a head scratcher for sure.
For sure. Which leads us to number 6, which is a real head scratcher. Algorithms.
Yes.
Now you go, well, that's not a person. Well, yeah, it's becoming a person.
Yeah.
Okay, now algorithms decide, I guess all by themselves, whose ideas can go up on Facebook, Twitter, Google, and whose gets removed. Now they tell us that much of the volatility in the stock market has to do with the fact that 95% of the stock market is now being traded by computers, and it's the algorithms that are causing the hills and valleys.
Do they realize people program the algorithms?
Apparently they don't.
Because I really question that. I watched your Congress interview the tech giants there, and some of the questions, it made me really question their knowledge of the modern world.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can't use illegal alien either.
No, because you'll be called a racist.
Well, but also because they blackballed you off Facebook.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the algorithms.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we're seeing it.
Yeah, and it is just ludicrous that people don't realize that humans created these algorithms, much like Alexa, and somebody is at the back end of this creation.
Yeah,
a human being.
Essentially, algorithms are a whole bunch of if-then-else statements. If this happens, then that, else this, else that.
Exactly.
That's what an algorithm is. Some human programs it.
So if it's not working, you go back in and you take out some of the ifs and ands and what ifs.
Yeah.
It's not hard.
Exactly.
Okay, number 5. I should call it Chansey, but it's Chuck and Nancy. They're off vacationing right now because they don't want to give the president the wall.
Yeah, of course.
The bad thing about this is that there's tape out there that suggests that before Trump was in office, they damn well wanted a wall. Okay? Now Nancy says that, it's immoral. You know what's immoral? The fact that Chuck and Nancy did not make a deal for the DACA recipients when Trump offered them more than they've ever been offered, even by their own President Obama.
Yeah, it just goes to show that they are just anti-Trump. No matter what Trump says, they're going to go the opposite way.
And at the end of the day, there are real people out here.
Yeah.
And those 2 junior high school people need to be out.
Yeah, a long time ago.
They act like little kids. And I would hope that we could elect people, no matter whether they are Republican or Democrat, that are above that kind of fray.
I don't know if you saw the little tape of Chuck and Nancy and President Trump in the White House, but did you hear them squirming when Trump was blanking them right there and they were on the cameras?
Yeah, that was.
They go, hey, can't we go somewhere and talk about this? So away from the cameras. Why? Because if you really feel passionate about your beliefs, wouldn't you want everyone to see them and see you fight for them and fight for your party? Oh no, not them. They cannot handle the pressure. And then Chucky gets on the podium himself and says, "Yeah, see how I showed him? By God, I was right there fighting against them guys in there."
He wouldn't even look at him in the eye.
Yeah, he couldn't look at him because he was intimidated.
Yeah.
Too funny.
Okay, number 4. Sponsors of the crime bill. And that includes Trump, Jared Kushner, and the Democrats. And you go, well, we don't want people in jail for having a joint. I don't either. But, like we often do, we're trying to run before we walk.
Right.
You're letting these people out of jail without sealing court records. And you're forgetting that you have Google out there.
Yeah.
And these people will not be able to get a job the minute somebody Googles them. So then you've got what happens when people can't get jobs. First of all, domestic crime goes up because depression sets in.
Right.
That's the first thing. Number two, we have to support them anyway through social services, which is basically no different than jail, where we're supporting them. I'm all for letting them out, but if you do not take care of this problem on the internet, you're setting them up for failure, and that's wrong.
I agree.
Okay, Donald Trump is number 3.
Wow.
And although we support Donald Trump, and we support any president, there are times he's pushed the envelope on Twitter.
Times? Like daily?
A lot of time, yeah. I think you can't leave him off the list because of those attacks, okay? Usually they pay off well for him. They still make me cringe.
Yeah.
Well, there's sometimes he pushes it too far.
He is. I also think here over the holiday, he pushed a little too hard and didn't really have enough of a plan. You've got the wall, you've got China, you have the stock market, doing a roller coaster. He put an awful lot out on the table.
All at once.
All at once. And every damn one of them he could lose.
Yep.
If you lose one of them, it's not that bad. But it was an awful lot. And even for his supporters, it makes us nervous out here. And to do that over the holidays is rough.
He had a lot of spare time, maybe, to create more covfefe.
Yeah. Yeah. We haven't heard that word for a while.
Yeah, it's kind of gone the wayside. Nobody could figure out what it meant yet.
That leads us to number 2. Connor's favorite, George Soros.
Yes, Uncle Soros.
His home country shared he was a threat to democracy.
Yeah, he is probably the number 1 globalist, and I don't think things are going to go so well for him in the near future. I just have a feeling.
I hope you're right, because him and Nancy are a little too close for comfort.
Yeah, that is very scary.
And our understanding is that he is organizing in Guatemala another 15,000 to come up, a caravan to come up through Mexico to the United States.
Well, time to throw him in jail then.
I believe it is time to throw him in jail. But because they have made so many threats, the conservatives don't talk enough about him.
That's, I think they should, this is going to be an act of war. You cannot keep attacking a border. These people are unwanted. Well, I take that back. Okay. We want them to come in the way they're supposed to.
Exactly.
That's the way it's always been.
Yes.
And if you deserve to be in our country, you will get into our country. But just saying we deserve to take care of the whole world, that's not the way it is. That's irrational.
Yeah. Yeah, and you bring up a good point. He's attacking your borders. When a country does that, it's called war.
Absolutely. Yes. And it is war. He is very dangerous. He's dangerous to democracy. For example, if Trump were to not win in 2020 and a Democrat would win, and we would have all of these immigrants coming over the border without citizenship, the United States will be unrecognizable, and I guarantee that it will damage us terribly economically.
Oh, yeah.
And militarily.
In every way.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the world needs the United States to be strong.
Yep.
That's just the way it is. And that leads us to the naughtiest of the naughty, and that's Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, he's become that George Soros of the social world, basically.
He absolutely has. This little baby-faced kid that stole our hearts, gave us a platform to keep in touch, has really lied to us.
Yeah.
For more than a decade.
It's not him, it's the algorithms.
Oh, yeah, his algorithms. But they've sold everything but his mother. Maybe they've sold her too. I don't know. Everything's for sale with him.
Yeah. Highest bidder.
And that's what, when he made this, when this all came out at the beginning, it was like he was trying to do this for mankind. Yeah. His mankind and his pocketbook.
Yeah.
It just goes back. It's for the almighty dollar.
Yeah.
And he would sell out anyone. And how he could get up there to Congress and lie or play so holier than thou.
Innocent.
Like, does it really do that? Are you kidding me?
But you got to think about the influence he's had. You know, the influence he has is the same as the propaganda put out during World War II.
Yeah.
If you only want people to see something certain when it comes to politics, you're no better than those in the past who have done the same thing.
Yeah, and they say they're fighting the battle of fake news. I've seen fake news. I've reported it as fake news to Facebook with like a reference link showing that it's fake. Nothing's ever happened.
No.
Nothing.
No, you have to fit with their agenda.
Yet the people that started the Yellow Vest Canada Facebook groups couldn't post in groups all of a sudden.
Well, I cannot post photos. The only way I can post a photo is if it comes from my Instagram account. I have been cut off of photos for more than a year since our podcast started.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. And, these are things we need Congress, the Senate, to show up and take care of instead of just hating on Trump. We don't really care how you feel about Trump. Grow up.
Yeah, this is not progress.
No.
It isn't progress. And, we're making a little bit light of it here.
Yeah.
The sad part is we can't make a light of this as we would like to because it's much too serious this year.
Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting year to see where things go. This is our election year as well, 2019. So see what's going to happen.
Absolutely.
Hopefully we'll take this country back. But
I sure hope so.
Yeah.
I really do.
We didn't even mention the Clintons really in this naughty list.
We didn't this time. We didn't,
Yeah, they're kind of
old news.
Old news, yeah. I mean, they were recently going to speak in Toronto. I think originally the price was $1,000 or something ridiculous like that, and they kept reducing it till it was down to like $20 or something, and only 17% of the seats sold.
Yeah, they are definitely yesterday's news.
Yeah. Especially in Canada. Nobody gives a shit what the Clintons think.
No, I don't know. Do we know how Michelle Obama did in Canada? She was going to tour in Canada.
She's probably going to do really well. The Obamas are...
I haven't met... Yeah.
I mean, Obamas were good to us.
Yeah.
Comparatively to Trump, right?
And very good friends, to Trudeau, right?
Yeah. Yeah, scary. And
He's even
Soros.
met with the Obamas
Yeah.
since Trump took office, right?
Yeah, it's there's some weird stuff going on there, and I believe Soros is got something to do with that. So.
Soros is at the end of every tunnel, and that's interesting because the Democrats used to complain about the Koch brothers. Well, one of the Koch brothers is very sick, so they have dropped out of politics, so their money is not in the conservative political arena like it has been for years. The Mercers put a lot of money into it, but Steve Bannon brought the Mercers with him. We know that Steve Bannon is not around so much. We've got to see that during the next election. Will he come back into the scene and bring the Mercers back in with their money? That'll be interesting to see. I say that our friend Steve Bannon comes back.
Yeah.
Strong.
He's going to be one of our predictions in our next show, right?
That's right.
We're
We
doing
will
the prediction
be doing
show?
the predictions.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure. I would agree with you there.
Yep, but we don't always agree, but life's a journey, and we're all in it together. Thanks for listening. Godspeed, Connor. Thanks to the Hammer. And
Thank you, Hammer.
Godspeed to all
Thanks
of our
for having
friends
me
out
on
there.
again.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the prediction show. I've got some predictions of mine. I'm not going to let my football fans down this year. I'm coming back
Well,
strong.
you let them down
All
last
right.
year.
Well, the ones that aren't in the poorhouse, I'm going to try to bail you out.
Bail out. All right. Thanks for listening, everyone.